I read 8 books in November and it's time for me to tell you all about it. I loved what I read in November. I think like most of the books I read are actually really good books. So I think that's kind of why I only read 8 of them, but I still loved most of them. There was a few misses, but it's okay. We started the month really strong with The Graham Effect by Elle Kennedy. It is her newest series, I think. I think it's gonna be a series, I'm not sure. But in it we are following Gigi and Ryder. Gigi is actually Garrett Graham's daughter. It is the main character, the main male character in The Deal, which is her most famous book. I had literally zero expectation going into this book because I read The Legacy from her, and I have to say I was a bit, just a tiny bit disappointed by this book. It just fell flat compared to how much I liked most of the books in the whole of Compass series. So Gigi is his daughter, and well, Garrett Graham's and Anna. Yeah, I said it was only Garrett, but it is the daughter of the first couple. Gigi is also a hockey player. I was really surprised about that because I didn't know anything about this book when I went into it. But I don't know why. I was just surprised that she made her a hockey player. But Ryder is also a hockey player, and he wants to be chosen to work as a counselor for a camp that her father is actually monitoring. So he wants her father to choose him, but her father has not a good view of Ryder. Ryder has kind of a bad reputation in the whole hockey world just because of something that happened between him and a kid when he was younger. I think he broke his teeth or something like this. Not a great reputation, and Gigi, she just wants to get better because I think she wants to make the Olympics team, and there is some fishy stuff going on that just means that she can't. They enter kind of an agreement where she is kind of saying good things about him to her father, and he is helping her with her hockey move and learning to move differently. What is insane is the way the relationship evolved so naturally. When I was reading the book, I was literally shocked at how it was just moving seamlessly. I loved it. Ryder is so funny. I love also the way Gigi talks. She doesn't care about anything. She's very open with her life. I just love both of their characters. So this book was a 4 stars. It just really hit right. Most of the books I'm gonna talk about in this video I actually read for a few different videos that came out or are coming out. If you want more in-depth information or reaction, you can watch my reading vlogs. One of those books is Front of the Fallen by Kerry Maniscalco. I think that's her name. It is kind of a sequel, but not really. I think it is a connected but standalone book with the whole Kingdom of the Wicked series. I loved Kingdom of the Wicked series. It was about wrath. There are 7 like devils: king, prince of devils, prince of hell. What the fuck? There is 7 prince of hell, and they are all brothers. The Kingdom of the Wicked series was about wrath, and Front of the Fallen is about envy. Envy has kind of a big problem because he made a deal with someone, and his court is just falling apart. Nothing is going right. Everyone, they're going crazy, and he is slowly losing power. He goes to the mortal world because to get back how his court once was, he has to go through a few, he's on a quest to find something, but he really doesn't know what. But at the end, if he wins, he will get back something that will help him get back his court to normal. I had so much trouble getting into that book because it was so freaking confusing how everything was explained. But once you get into it, once you just powered through a lot of pages, it just gets so freaking good. Because in the mortal world, he met Camilla. And Camilla, you think she's a normal human. A lot of things happen with her, a lot of things happen with Envy. I love seeing Raph again also. I love that universe. I think she really did a great job, Carrie, making that world. I love it. And Envy was a really fun prince. It had similar things to Kingdom of the Wicked, but it happened in a way that didn't make it repetitive. I just was following the story and it was different. And I loved it. So this book I think would be closer to 4.5, except I had to like get almost 50% through the book to actually love it. So it was only a 4, but still 4 is amazing. So if you liked Kingdom of the Wicked, I would totally recommend you read that one. Also for a video that did not come out yet and is coming out really soon, I just need to finish a few books. I read a few books in the Brutal Birthright series by Sophie Lark. I wrote it down on my little notebook. I read Savage Lover, Bloody Hurt, and Broken Vow. This whole series is a kind of dark. It is mafia related, but I really like the way Sophie Lark is writing. It is very easy to follow. It's just a book that reads himself. You don't have to think it's just so nice to read a Sophie Lark book. So Savage Lover was a 2-star. I think it was my least favorite book overall out of every Sophie Lark book I read. It was about Nero and Camille. I feel like in this book it was a lot of lust and not a lot of storyline. I feel like the story was not there and it was just let's have sex. I was getting bored at one point. Bloody Hurt was a 3 stars. It was the story between Dante and Simon. I like that one because we had the past and the present, and it is second chance romance, which I loved. I feel like it was a bit rushed. I loved the storyline because she was in danger in the present life, and that's why they kind of rekindled the flame. But yeah, there was so much things. There is a big secret in that one, and that is also a part of why I loved it so much. But I feel like it just, the present part just went by too fast. For once, I feel like this book should have been longer. And then we have Broken Bow, which I gave 2.5. It is a story between Rihanna and Relan. I had so much more expectation going into this book. I was so freaking excited to read it because it was a bodyguard kinda storyline. I love bodyguard stories. I need to find more of them because I love them. If you have some to recommend to me, I would love to know which ones. But I love bodyguard stories. I don't know where it went, but it was not, the bodyguard thing was not used enough for me. I would have loved a bit more of bodyguard. And Rihanna, I had a bit of trouble with her, but the storyline was insane. I didn't see the plot twist coming at the end. I have to be honest, I'm kind of dumb on some of those things. Like when in Akota, the first one, the whole riddle thing, I had absolutely no idea what the answer was gonna be. My mind was just blank. And I have to say, I don't usually spend a lot of time considering what it could be. But I think it was in Powerless. There is a riddle at one point in Powerless, or maybe, I don't know. In one book there is a riddle and it was death, the answer, and I had it. So the only time I was very proud of myself for picking correctly. Speaking of fantasy book, I read Iron Flame, which is the second book after this one, for free. I was so excited to see people just make reviews of that book, but I didn't see anyone making them, so I'm still waiting. if you want to post your reviews of Iron Flame, please do so, because I need someone to talk to about it. I just loved it personally. I saw a few people saying that it was too long. I didn't mind it. I read it fairly quickly. I feel like it just went by so fast. I loved the back and forth. I was so scared that we would have a tumbling effect, but I feel like it's not going to happen. I think like Dane was the tumbling effect. I don't want Thunder to be a tumbling. I would actually die. Anyway, I really liked it. It was meeting my expectations. I was so shocked at the end. I was not expecting this, and I still don't understand how it happened. I need to read it again, but I just don't understand how this whole things work. That's why I need someone to talk to you about, because I don't understand how it happened. So I need someone to actually explain it to me. If you know and can explain it to me, please keep the comment section spoiler free, but do explain it because I don't get it. But other than that, I loved that book. It was a bit darker than the first one, definitely. I think it was going where it should go. To no one's surprise, it was a 5-star read. Then I read Checkmate by Elizabeth Wood. I love Elizabeth Wood. Almost all of her books were 5-star read for me. And this one, I'm struggling to know. I'm between a 4.5 and a 5. So I should be 4.75. For now, I put it at 4.5. But I really think it is more of a 5 stars. I don't know. So in this book we have Mallory and Nolan. It is about chess, okay? I don't know anything about chess, and I was so freaking invested in this entire book. I love the storyline. We have Mallory, who used to play chess, especially with her father, but right before going pro, I think it was around 14 years old, something like that, she stops because of things that we don't really know what happened there. And then on the opposite we have Nolan, who is the best chess player for a few years now that Mallory is 18 years old, I think, and she just goes back to the chess world for a few different reasons. The romance between her and Nolan, I just love Nolan so freaking much. And Mallory, even though she has some moments where I just wanted to shake her a little bit, most of the time I was just dying. I love them. I think when I will reread it, it will definitely be a 5 stars. I love that book so freaking much. It's insane. I feel like I don't understand though the difference between young adults and just adult romance, because this one was supposed to be her first YA book, but what are the others? Because I didn't really see a difference. Maybe this one was a bit darker. I think it was Closed Door. Was it? And people can think that when you read smuts in books, like you remember it. I always forgot if there is smut in a book or not, which is problematic because sometimes people in real life are like, oh, what book should I read? And I tell them, and then afterwards my brain remembers a scene or something that happened, and I'm like, what are they gonna think when it is me who recommended that book? So I try to not talk about books with people I know. So this is the last book technically I actually read, because the last book I'm gonna talk about today is Duet Me Not by Lillian Lee, and I actually DNF'd that book. I was so excited for this book because it was about synchronized swimming, and I was so freaking excited to read a book about that, because I did synchronized swimming for a year and a half. When I was younger, I just stopped because I didn't like the dynamics between the girls. I was really excited, but the writing style was really not for me. It just made the book so complicated for me to actually read and enjoy, so that's why I chose to DNF'd it. But yeah, those are all the books I read in November. I hope you had a good reading month. Overall, I think mine was pretty good between Iron Flame and Checkmate. Those two books were just so good that I don't really care about the others. What book was your favorite this month? And I will see you very, very soon. Bye!